So when you look to grow your dental practice, there's a lot of information and a lot of ways to do it. So what I want to introduce to you is the idea of two main schools of thought. And the older, more traditional school of thought is to focus primarily on patient experience, to focus on creating such a good service and focusing on creating such a good service that it begets word of mouth and people start to spread the idea about you and your practice. And the more recent approach is to shift that focus to marketing, to what we understand marketing to be previously, which is things like advertising, visibility, getting the word out, ranking on Google, all these different things. And the problem both comes with pros and cons. The problem with the traditional patient experience only approach is that it can be very slow to grow, and people who focus on the marketing and visibility get patients who would be better suited and better aligned with your practice when you only focus on the experience and don't focus on the marketing aspects. And the pros and cons of focusing only on the marketing aspect are that you get a lot of visibility, but what we understand marketing to be, things like advertising and visibility, we find that it gets worse as other practices adopt those new behaviors. They start to market themselves. Cost of advertising goes up as more marketers, as more advertisers are introduced into the advertising ecosystem. And as a result, focusing only on marketing becomes very costly and unsustainable in the long run. So I want you to take an approach that balances both methods. One where you get the long-term benefits of increasing patient experience, of an improved patient experience that begets word of mouth, and also to adopt the behaviors, the benefits of marketing, visibility, and all this sort of stuff. So what we have now is a third approach that integrates the best aspects of both, and this is modern marketing. So it's going to start with you intentionally designing the patient experience, because traditionally how we did it was we said we would go and create the best experience for everyone, and it worked for a while. But what happened now was that with the advent of the internet, with the advent of other advertisers and marketing, everyone, the community you seek to serve, has become very diverse, very fragmented and splintered in what they consider to be better, what they prefer, what they like, what they know. And so if we try to build a patient experience in service of everyone, what happens is that we end up building something for no one, because no one likes what everyone likes. So the new approach is to figure out who we're going to be creating this patient experience for. Who are we going to be striving to create visibility around? So the question shifts from how can we grow our dental practice to who is it that we're seeking to serve first? Once we identify that, then we can start working on the different elements of attracting those people, of building a service in service of those people as well. So who are you seeking to serve? Let's start with that question. There's a lot that we can go into, and we could probably spend hours talking just about that one question. So what I would recommend you do is check out the course that I'll put in the description that'll get into more of the details about how exactly to identify those people. Once you do that, once you identify the belief systems that make up that group of people, then you have a foundation upon which you can build the entire experience upon. Because once you understand what they believe is good dentistry, are they more conservative? Do they want treatment first? Do they want to be cost effective? All these sort of things. Then you can start building in service of those beliefs. And also you can take the approach of positioning yourself, of working on how you present yourself to the market, to the people who are looking for dentistry. And now you can create messaging that resonates with those group of people, because you show up as not just another dental office that's good for everyone, but as a dental office that is designed specifically with those people in mind. So when you do that, not only can you create a fantastic patient experience for those people, but you can also create a fantastic presentation of how you show up and therefore attract the people. Now, one thing, it can be scary to take that approach of becoming very narrow and very specific, because the temptation is to think that if we're broad and we're for everyone, we can cast a wider net. But the problem with that, as I alluded to before, is that no one wants what everyone wants. And so it might seem scary to narrow that down that we might repel some people, but those people didn't want to engage with you in the first place. There's plenty of people who want the practice that you designed, that you created for that specific group of people. And when you look at the numbers, we find that the number of people you need to actually thrive as a practice is a fraction of the people in that community who have that belief system that you want to target for. We ran the numbers, and it's somewhere between 1 to 5% of that group of people who share those beliefs that you would need to convert in order to have a thriving practice. So start from a place of abundance. You don't have to get everyone. You can start with a smaller group of people, and those small group of people will be plenty, more than enough for you to thrive on. Once you do that, once you figure out who they are, present yourself, position yourself in a way that shows that you're a practice specifically for those people, and ultimately create the patient experience for those specific people. Check out the course. We'll look at how to design all the touch points, all the elements of your practice, the different interactions that happen, the different areas of expectations that people might have, how you can break those expectations in service of them. That creates a more meaningful experience. And at the end of the day, you'll come away with a practice that is truly differentiated, truly meaningful for those people you serve. And as a result, you get the benefits of patient experience and marketing, because they will surely spread the word about you. All right, thanks for watching.